Now, I've actually been a little busy in between episodes, and I know this may be shocking to hear, but I did an interior.
Wow.
I know, it's insane. Even though I've made it a rule on this world that I want to fully finish every single build that I do, I still don't have too many interiors completed. And I guess this one isn't technically completed. I'll show you why in a second. But of course, this is the church that we built last episode. A lot of oohs and ahs in the comments, please, right? Beautiful build. And it now has a fairly basic interior to it. So of course, I tried to, make this look like a church. It has a purple carpet, feel like it kind of fits the nether theme. And then here is the nether portal, the thing that is being worshipped. I also wanted to make it look like this was kind of like pulled out of the ground in some way. Like maybe this portal was like really deep down and they used like chains and stuff to get it up here. I don't exactly know the physics behind that, but I think it looks kind of nice. And the reason why earlier I said this isn't completely done is because there's nothing in this tower. I think I'll eventually put just like a winding staircase going up to maybe like a bedroom or something in there. I don't really know just yet. That's kind of why I left it blank. There's also this back room, which really doesn't have much decoration in it, but don't really feel like it needs to have much. So it's nothing crazy, but it's way better than what it looked like previously. I would like to put off getting villagers for a little while later because I hate doing that. What I like doing though is making fields. And so far in this world, I have one singular crop field and it's over here. And it's kind of like a gross amalgamation of a few different crops, right? It's mainly wheat, but then you see like some carrots over there. There's some carrots there. I think there might be some potatoes in this place somewhere. So I mainly want to just separate all these different crops into their own fields. This is going to be built up as the farming district, and I'll have a bunch more builds in here eventually, but I think shaping out the landscape here with some crop fields will be a nice start. Before we get started with that though, I am level 33.
Hey!
And I guess if I'm going to be working with crop fields, I might as well enchant a hoe. I did a few other really small things between episodes too. I changed the entrance here to the enchanting library. I feel like this is a better looking entrance than what I had before. And I also adjusted the entrance of the house very slightly. But again, I think it's an upgrade. Anyway though, let's hope we get more than just efficiency 4. Fortune 2, Unbreaking 3. I'll definitely want Silk Touch down the line, but a Fortune 3 hoe wouldn't be that bad. I mean, you get more crops with Fortune 3, like when you harvest them. So that's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I do want Feather Falling on boots though. That's kind of what I want my next enchantment to be. Though Unbreaking 3 on a sword would actually be pretty cool. I mean, my sword does have mending on it, so I guess Unbreaking's not necessary, but I'll still enchant a sword. Why not? Looting 2, Unbreaking 3. I think I'm gonna disenchant that one. I like taking my viewers along whenever I enchant because, in my opinion, it's one of the more fun aspects of this game, honestly. I like the grind of searching for good enchantments. I suppose I should get started with the crop fields, and I think the best way to do that is by tearing down a lot of the trees around here. I'm honestly not sure exactly how much of this land is going to be reserved for crop farm. Are you good? You can get out, man. You're free. Whatever. All right, so I chopped down a lot of the trees here in the surrounding area, and my loose plan is to have one field over here and then another field back this way. I'm sure I'm gonna get more crop fields down the line, but I think a carrot and a potato field will be good enough for now. I would like to tackle this little bit of terraforming at this point though, because I am tired of this area looking like doo-doo. And the good thing about this is I probably don't actually have to go get any dirt from my base. I don't want to take away this entire hill because that's where like my mine building second floor is sitting. And I like the look of this building the way it is, how it's like feeding into this little mound. I'm gonna use this small example to kind of walk you guys through how I go about terraforming things. And keep in mind, I am really not good at terraforming. So I think the best way to approach terraforming is to make like a skeleton of your landscape. And I'll kind of show you what I mean. So this is a much smaller example because I only have to go up like 2 blocks from where I am right now, or 3 blocks, I guess. But what I mean by skeleton is that I'll usually just start out with a handful of lines that follow the trajectory of the landscape that I want. So as you can see, we have a line over here that connects all the way up to the top. We have this central line right there, and then a much smaller one over on this side. The reason this one's smaller is because I can't have it go back that far considering there's a building here, and I still want to be able to walk through this. I'm gonna take a quick sweepy though. Why did I say that? And then what I'm gonna go ahead and do is connect up the lines. And this is where the difficult part potentially comes in because you don't wanna just make like a staircase going straight up, right? You wanna make it look a little bit more natural. The way I achieve that is I connect up the lines in like weird zigzaggy formations. It's a little difficult to describe the process. Definitely make sure to put some torches underneath where you're terraforming because you don't want the scary things to spawn. All I did was just connect up those lines, and now this hill looks a lot better already. It's still not exactly where I want it, but it's a massive upgrade to what we had before. Now, next up with this specific terraforming job, I want to get rid of all the stone. I want this just to purely be grass. And sadly, I've actually run out of grass. I didn't think I would have to go back to get some, but hold on. All of the stone is covered, and I'm already very much liking how this looks. There is still more I can do to this, because when I terraform, I don't like having these really big, like, right angles. So normally I kind of just beef up one of the layers, and that helps a lot. I also try to avoid having really long straight lines like this unless it's a huge area. If it's a really big area, it could certainly call for it. Again, I just kind of like to break it up by adding a little zigzag here. I might even add a little bit more at the end to make it look just a tad bit more interesting. That was probably a terrible tutorial, but I just hope at least someone out there got any bit of useful information out of that. Now that this looks more natural though, let's work on the outlines for these crop fields. And this shouldn't take all that long. I'm just gonna do the same design that I have in this main field. So we're gonna alternate between the birch leaves and then the spruce stuff. Should look pretty nice. Now I misspoke earlier, but I think it actually kind of worked out. So I said that these were birch leaves. They are not. These are definitely spruce leaves, but I did come back with birch leaves for the first little plot of land, and I think I like this a little bit better. I think I like the fact that I changed up the leaves. So this one has birch leaves around it, but everything else is pretty much the same, with the spruce bits going all the way around. And then this third one down here, I used some azalea leaves and also some of the flowering azaleas. And as another little accent, I put some moss around the area and bone mealed it. I think this is my favorite one. I really like the moss accents. It looks really cool. Now these farms very nicely border the path that I'm gonna have around here. And that was kind of the plan all along. Looking pretty snazzy. Obviously though, next up, I actually have to populate these areas with the correct crops. I'm gonna time-lapse myself planting down all these crops because I think that looks really cool in a time-lapse. So let's cut away to that. Both of the new fields are now like partially done. I still have to wait for the crops to grow in to get more to replant, but at least they are all tilled and they look kind of nice. This one in the middle is still way bigger, I think. But that's fine. We're probably gonna have more even down this way. I kind of want to bring this whole thing all the way down to like the river here. But for now, I definitely like how this area is turning out. I guess I should probably get some villagers now. I'm gonna save that for me tomorrow. I really wish villagers weren't as important as they are, because I'm definitely dreading going to get some. But it has to be done, so let's set off to the village where I have that mending villager from last episode, and I'll go displace a few of them. That's a nice way of putting it, I think. This is going to be the most epic chicken hatch of all time. You ready for this?
I think the girls with their nails done now.
It actually hatched a chicken. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna try to save this chicken if possible. There you go. Don't go anywhere, friend. That chicken's special to me. How's it going, friends? I heard you wanted to move out. Or at least I really hope you did, because you are going to. How in the world did you get up there? No idea how you've done that, Jim, but I will take you home. There's nothing quite like rowing a boat on solid ground. Jim's really just standing up in the boat like that? That's actually kind of a power move. I love that. Don't go anywhere, Jim. I'm gonna take a nap at the bottom of the ocean. See all these beautiful buildings around here, Jim? Yeah, none of them are for you. You will get your own building, but I'll probably just have you live in a hole for a while. First though, let me get a friend. Can you please get in the boat, sir? One of you, sir. They both got in the... Let's try this again. Here we go. Get in the boat, and now I'm in the boat. Think this could work? At this point, I sort of don't care if the villagers get out, because I'm probably not really gonna be back here often again. I will come back for the mending villager at some point, but the rest of the villagers I kind of don't care about. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know I'm stealing your friend away. I apologize. You are following me. It makes it a little bit more difficult to do, if I'm being honest. I mean, honestly, what would you guys do if, like, your best friend was just taken away by a dude in a boat on land. Like, I'm not going very fast, right? Like, I feel like the villager would like have to try to not stop me. You know what I mean? I feel like it's pretty easy to stop somebody who is rowing a boat on grass. Now, if I haven't mentioned it yet, the building for today is going to house a villager breeder, and I think it's going to go over in this area. I want to expand down the coastline here eventually, and I want this shoreline here to be all of like the attractions of this area. All right, so we have like a library. You can go pop in, read a couple books if you wanted to. We're gonna have like a tavern right here with the villager breeder in it. You can go get a drink, get some food, have a good time. We have my house, which is sort of in the same area. I don't really know if that's going to be much of an attraction, but forget about that one for now. I never plan this out fully whenever I build my starter house, and I always regret where I put it. I kind of regret where I put this one. I feel like I should have made it smaller and like over there, but I'm not taking it down. All right, it looks nice. Maybe I'll convert it into something later, but I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. The tavern is going to go right, The tavern is going to go in or around this area. And the basement of that tavern is going to be the villager breeder. So that's what I'm going to start working on now. That's why I needed both of those gyms. Honestly, I think gym is the plural of gym. Like sheep, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to say gyms. I'm just going to keep saying gym for every part of the word. Anyway, though, let me clear out some space. Why does Silk Touch not work on grass? Like, I know you could use shears, but like, why can't I pick up the grass if I Silk Touch it? I feel like you should be able to. Maybe with a Silk Touch hoe it works, I honestly don't know. Now, since this is going to be in the basement of the main building, it kind of doesn't matter where I put it in respect to the rest of the building, because I can always just connect up the basement somehow to make it work, right? So I'm just gonna choose right here. We're gonna dig down a handful of blocks, and I'm gonna do my best to make my own version of a villager breeder. I think I get the basic mechanics of it, so I should be able to cook one up real quick. I'm like 90% certain this thing is now up and running. Well, I thought this thing was up and running, but I forgot the 3 trapdoors right here. So now we have a villager who's off in the system. But I guess this is a good time to test this. Let's see if the minecart pickup system actually works. It should pick up the villager and cause no damage. That's exactly what it does. Sweet. Now I'm like 90% sure this thing should work. I'm not sure how many carrots are required to make villagers breed, but I have 40. Let's see what happens. Come on, somebody pick them up. All right, you grabbed all 40 of the carrots. Go breed with your friend. Nope, not there. You're not regular people. That's not where you do that. There we go. Just kind of needed a little bit of a nudge in the right direction. Just a bit of suggestion. Are you sorry? Are you guys shy? I'll turn around. Is this true love? It is true love. There's a little gem. Now you're gonna go try to jump on the bed and get pranked, brother. You suck. Now I gotta be honest, I did have to watch a Logical Geek Boy video just to figure out the little minecart mechanism. But we should be able to capture a little baby Jim in a minecart just like that. This is so good. All right, now this should be fully automatic. I'm honestly unsure if carrots are like the best food source to do this with, but even if they're not, it should be fine. I'm sure this thing's going to be rendered like most of the time I'm in my starter area. It's also why I went with like a smaller farmland than a typical automatic farm. I really don't think all that's going to matter too much. And it might look super ugly, but that should be a successfully built villager breeder. I'll come back and check at some point to see if it's actually working. As for the materials for this build, a lot of them are going to be pretty much the same as the starter house and the library. I'm going to maintain this stone base with a little bit of mossy stuff mixed in, as well as the walls of the second floor being sandstone, sand, and stripped birch. And the spruce accents are also going to stay the same. The only thing that's really going to be changing here is the roof. I just have to figure out what color roof I want to go with. I'm thinking some kind of like red roof would look pretty nice next to this orange roof here. Thinking a little bit far ahead, but then after the tavern, the next building over here, whatever that ends up being, I feel like would look nice with a yellow roof. Orange, red, yellow, all in a row. I think it looked pretty cool. So now I just need to figure out what red blocks I want to go ahead and gather. And I think I'm actually going to take a little bit of inspiration from Hardcore Minecraft Season 2. So let me pop over to that world really quickly. Feels really weird to be back here, but here we are. But in this Season 2 world, I made this gatehouse, and I love the color of this roof. I feel like this will look super nice in my new world. Now, this isn't exactly red It's like probably closer to purple, but I still feel like it'll look pretty sick. I might alter this a little bit and add some like mangrove and netherrack just to give it some more red accents, but I'm certainly going to need a lot of purple terracotta, along with the crimson planks and the stripped crimson logs. But now that I know the blocks that I want to use for the roof, I'm gonna go ahead and gather them. It's times like this where I wish I had a better plan for my buildings, because I have no idea of like the exact number of blocks I'm going to need. I end up just grabbing a crap ton. I wanted to take this time here to ask you guys if you prefer videos that are much more planned out. You know, when each build is already built in Lightmatica in a different world, and then you take it into your own world and then build up layer by layer, or if you prefer the way that I build, where I kind of just wing everything as I'm going. I'm perfectly fine to do either, so just kind of curious what you guys would prefer. But as you can see, as I was talking about that, I started here gathering up some terracotta. This mesa is pretty far away. I really need elytra. That would make this experience so much faster. Boating all the way over here sucks. After that, I gathered probably the worst material to gather in this game. I don't know if that's true. There's probably a worse material out there. But mangrove wood just sucks, dude. Like, I wish it didn't look as good as it does, because I hate these trees more than most things. Not only are the logs just completely like random in the bushes of the tree, but then you have the roots at the bottom that don't go away. You have to actually harvest those too. It's just such a hassle. We got a far easier wood type to gather up next, and that is spruce wood. Of course, my baby, my favorite wood type. I don't think that's really ever going to change. I can't imagine Minecraft ever adding a better wood type than spruce. And there's absolutely no way my favorite wood type is going to be any of the other ones right now. We've got a stark juxtaposition here between my favorite wood type and my least favorite, birchwood. Just on its own, it just doesn't look good to me. It still isn't my favorite. I mean, when you strip it, it looks fine, I guess. And it works for my current color palette. Just the regular birchwood just creeps me out, man. I don't know. Sticking with that color palette, I headed off to gather some sand and some sandstone, kind of both at the same time. I then went to the nether and, hold on 1 second. Gotta do something really quick. All right, almost there. Okay, cool. Now that that's done, I went ahead and gathered up some of the crimson stem. Figured it would save me some time if I stripped it along the way too. I wanted to gather a bunch of this stuff because obviously I wanted to build with the stripped variant and also the planks. I really need to find myself a mangrove swamp, because I kind of hate gathering mud this way. It's not like horribly inefficient, but just going to a mangrove swamp with like an efficiency 4 shovel and just going to town is way better. But my plan was to use this mud for the floor of the inside of the tavern, and pairing with that is some mushroom blocks. A pretty annoying block to get because you gotta grow the mushrooms and then use a silk touch axe in order to harvest it. But it wasn't that bad, I guess. And it looks really nice with mud. Another block I wanted to use for that floor is some coarse dirt, so I needed to gather up some gravel to combine that with the dirt, of course. I already have a crap ton of dirt, just ran out of gravel. Last 2 blocks here are going to be used for that stone foundation. We got some moss, slowly turning into one of my favorite blocks in all of Minecraft. I don't actually know where it ranks right now, but it's getting up there, man. Moss, fantastic block. And then I finished gathering materials with some tuff. A block that looks really nice with moss and the mossy cobblestone variants. I gathered a lot of materials for this build. Nearly both of these double chests are completely filled with random stuff. I don't know if I'm going to use it all, but I wanted just to get a variety of different things just so I had the option. I do need to go punch some wheat though, actually. That's one thing I forgot to get because I have a bunch of mud in there, but I want to make it packed mud. So let me really quickly just harvest my whole wheat field. But of course it did start raining. I really don't want to start building in the rain. So I guess for now, I'll just map out the build and then I'm going to actually start building once the rain stops. The shape that I have in mind for this, I think is going to require me to clear out some more space. I guess I'll just start here by taking down this fence because obviously that's not going to be in the final part of the build. Are they making another child? Are we about to witness a miracle? There it is. The miracle of childbirth. That's exactly how it happens in real life too. You share enough food and then just baby. Now for this build, the only real idea I have is I want a pretty long central rectangle. Probably longer than this, maybe over to here. I'm not actually counting anything either. I just want to get the gist of what this looks like. So something like that. There's a creeper, hold on. I should probably sleep. Yeah, that would be smart. 360. I'm the best. Gonna extend out the middle rectangle a little bit more. And then over here on this right side, definitely gonna have to clear out some of this grass because I want there to be like a little underpass section I can walk through, but like the top of the building is still going to hang over. I might make this archway a little bit wider, but for now it's just going to be a 3-block gap. And then over on this side, I think we just have like a pretty tiny back room. This could be used as the stairway to actually get down into the farm. but I don't want it to be too big over here because I don't want it to get too close to the library. I'm probably going to want to have some kind of pathway around here too. And if it's too close, it might look a little bit cluttered. I would also like there to be another little overhang for the entrance. But this is where I actually have to count because I think I want this to be like in the middle of this main rectangle. I actually might be the greatest because without even counting, this is already an odd number. I mean, to be fair, there was a 50% chance that this would happen, but I like to imagine it's my builder instincts kicking in. And then much like over here, this is just going to be a little underpass where you can walk underneath the building. And it will also serve as like the main entrance right here. I think it'll look pretty nice. And now all we have to do from here is just go up. So cue the medieval tavern music and let me toss it to a time lapse. Never thought I'd have to make a YouTuber apology video, but here we are. I have had a severe, what does he say? I've had a severe and something lapse in judgment. I forgot what Logan Paul said. Anyway, yeah, don't be mad, all right? But I didn't do an interior. I know it's horrifyingly bad information. I'd understand if all of you guys unsubscribed right now. But don't worry, I still know the challenge I set for myself to fully finish every build in this world. I'm going to do that, all right? I plan to have an episode in the future where I kind of just like renovate this whole area. And I think I'm going to tackle a whole bunch of interiors in that video. I'm thinking that one is going to be out relatively soon after this one. No promises just yet because I don't plan anything. Oh. Hello there, guys. I have villagers here now. Do you want to, like, go away? I know exactly what'll get them to go away. Arson. You don't deserve anything better than this. Trying to interrupt my outro like this. Like, how could you? We're fine. Everything's all right. Don't worry about me. Dude, look at that one that is in my chin. Man, that's one hell of a shot, I'm not gonna lie. But what was I saying? I kind of completely lost my train of thought now. I was talking about a future episode where I plan on like renovating my entire area. All you guys need to know about that is I plan on doing most of my interiors then. Now that the shaders are on and the game looks all beautiful, let's go over the brand new build of the area, this tavern. Honestly, not too sure you'd be able to tell this was a tavern without me telling you. Kind of just looks like a typical building. But I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks really cool. I'm especially a fan of the roof here. I think the mangrove wood and like the nether wood into the terracotta looks really cool. It's one of those things that looks kind of nice from up close and also from afar. You can see the colors blending into one another. I spent a long time trying to figure out this roof as well. I just couldn't get something I was comfortable with. This is a slightly different like shaped building than the starter house over here. So I couldn't just use the same exact roof. It looked kind of weird. So I went with this different one with a lower trim down here using some trapdoors and some spruce slabs. And I think I came up with a pretty good solution here. I missed one block. That is supposed to be a trapdoor. Hold on, let me check before I go fix it. Did I miss that anywhere else? I also missed it right there. I am so good. That should be fixed now. Let's continue going over the building. I extended this pathway over here now past the library, and you can walk underneath here, which I think is a really cool vibe, honestly. And you can round this corner, and there's a little outdoor seating area. I think I actually want trapdoors like that behind the chairs. Hold on. I thought I was finished with this. I think I like this look a little bit more. Looks kind of weird with these two chairs together, but it's fine. We're going to deal with it. And then out back, I don't really know where this is going to lead just yet, so I kind of just left it empty. And also, don't mind any of the trees, okay? They look kind of weird. Like the leaves are just kind of chopped off right there. I plan on making a whole bunch of custom trees eventually, so I'm not even worrying about the foliage at the moment. That's just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, I think. You know, I may not have seen whatever was going on in real life, with like the northern lights and stuff like that. Whatever happened recently where you're able to see them from much further away, I don't know. Might not have seen those, but I have seen them in Minecraft. Like, this view looks insane. Anyway, though, that's the new building. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. Also, rest in peace, Boat Cow. Still miss this guy. But I will very soon be populating this whole area with villagers, and we're gonna have a bunch more trades and stuff like that. It's going to be a great time. Think I should probably start considering beating the game, though. Kind of feel like that should be next episode. I won shulker boxes, I won elytra. We are on day 292. I feel like I deserve it at this point. Thank you so much though for watching this episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.